my questions. I ask and you answer. So, first, an introduction, who you are and what you do.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much. My name is Fortune Okoli, and I'm the founder of Swiftlynx Nigeria Limited. And what we do at Swiftlynx is we're a tech company that provides financial solutions. So we started off as a tech company providing tech products, building mobile applications and websites. And then from there we transcended to providing financial solutions because we had made substantial amount of money, and then we decided to give it out as loans. And that is how we, through about 1.5 years now, we've also provided loans to more than 500 business owners from Owerri to...
So you've done this already in 1.5 years?
Yes.
About 500 businesses?
Yes.
And when did you start your tech company?
Okay, we started as a team of 8. I did my computer programming at Aptech here. I learned computer programming and I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, Python language. And
how did it take all these things?
Okay, it took me 8 months to
learn all these things.
Yeah, to learn, yeah. It took me 8 months, and to learn these things, I now formed a team. Like, I called my colleagues, my classmates, told them, we can't achieve a lot. We are doing freelancing, what they call freelancing, instead of building websites. We can actually achieve more if we work as a team. So I called them and told them, okay, let's start up a company, let's start up something here so that we can be able to achieve more and reach out to more people. So what we do is we go to maybe high-tech phones here in Italy and tell them that, see, we start you guys online and we can't find you online. You need a website. And they say, yes, we have been thinking about it. How much can you take to build us a website? We said, okay, we can build you an e-commerce website for 700,000, 800,000, we negotiate prices. And once the contract is awarded, we take it back to our team and we build a beautiful website for them. They pay us, we share the money. Now, at some point, we had much more. So we said, instead of this money being in bank accounts, so there is no need for it being in bank accounts. So we started our loans arm of the company.
Before you continue, let's celebrate with the Fortune. You can see process. I mean, before you went there, what did you study?
Okay, I didn't have a background in tech. My first degree is philosophy. I studied philosophy and actually went ahead to do psychology, master's in psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, I studied from then. When I realized that philosophy is good, but you can't, in Nigeria, you can't get a good job, your relevance will not be very much. You only study philosophy. You're not an advisor to a governor, or you're not an advisor to somebody. So I said, no, I'll have to arm myself with relevant skills, high income skills that can be able to pay my bills. And that was how I
went for the
tech, yeah.
Okay, does it make sense? So you can translate. I say no, because I did arts. If not, I would have done programming. Programming is money now, like seriously. In fact, I'm going to do programming. I've been thinking about it. I'm going to learn it, if not for learning sake. Okay, so now you made so much money from just doing the regular tech websites and all that stuff. Now, another transition point came. Why keeping this money in the bank? We have money. We moved into another business. And first of all, he was a seller. He was selling. Remember, he's the CEO of the company. He goes out there to meet the people. You don't have websites. Let's do this for you. But many of us are skilled, but we don't sell. And it's a problem. So we're just looking for marketers. Why don't you go and learn how to sell? Like you need to be your first seller, be your first marketer. Okay, so now you move to financial services.
Yeah.
What did you do?
So when we started out as a financial service provider, people needed money. Everybody needs money, especially in Nigeria.
Even people here.
Yeah. When I announced that we are now giving out loans, we had less than 10 million naira. We had up to 9.2 made revenue generated from websites alone in less than 1 year.
Wow.
So we had 9.8, and we said, let's start up these loan services. So at some point, our money finished, and people were still applying. We had just to go to swiftlynxtechnologies.com. People were still applying. So people were still applying.
Put it online.
So now, when we had more applicants for loans and people with viable business ideas, people with strong business ideas, but they don't have the capital to transform their ideas into reality. So what we did was we now sought for partners, not just partners like the invest. No, we had to do what is called debt financing. Debt financing has to be if I have a business idea and I say, okay, I need 10 people and our market cap is 20 million, we need to finance this project. So can I get 10 people who will pay me 2 million naira, and at the end of the partnership contract, or if you still want to stay with the company for the future, you now go into equity financing, where the company will give you some shares or equity. Because as of the time we started out our loan company, we have not yet incorporated it. So we are now running it as a business registration. By the time we incorporated the company, my fellow colleagues, my programmers, they will say we want also a share in the company. So we had to limit the company by shares. So each of us have equal shares in the company. So nobody is head, just statutory head, you are the CEO, you are the CFO, you are the CTO, you are this, you are that. So but we all have equal shares in the company. So now we run out of funds because as of that time, 9.8 million finished in less than 2 weeks after the announcement. So people needed money, and they were paying back. So now it was a good business. It was a good business. So when they finished, when the money finished, we now transitioned into debt finance. So we took small amount of money from close friends and family, and they supported our venture, gave us so much money. Now we had to turn over. By the end of 2021, we had made close to 32 million naira from
loans. Success,
and we didn't just stop at that place. We also tried to acquire assets with the company's name, because as an incorporated company, the company is a person. So the person can go into agreements, the company can go into contractual agreement, the person can be sued in court as a incorporated company. Yeah. So we bought assets, and now our company, like valuation, valuation is this hyper stuff. So they value your company based on your assets.
What kind of assets?
Land, real estate, stocks, shares.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just it.
Wow, straightforward, right? I have a lot of people there who need money. Need money to expand their business. Let me see how many. Your own is 2 hands. I discovered that sometimes you give people money for they use it to get married. Some people use it to upgrade from self-con to 2-bedroom. Some people use it to buy car, saying that don't suffer. Like I buy with loan for business. The question is, so how do you manage to know the right people to loan money to?
All right, thank you very much. Risk management is a skill. It's a skill that comes from experience. So we made substantial amount of mistakes in our earlier beginnings, but we learned from them. So we now started writing down mistakes we made in the past. So something like you come to us for a loan, and there are some questions we have to ask you first to know your suitability. It's called suitability assessment, to assess you, to know if you are qualified to obtain loan from Swiftlynx. So now, when you come, we ask you, what business are you doing? So how do you intend to pay back? How do you make revenue from your business? So many other questions we have to ask you that will determine if this person can actually pay back loans. So you don't just apply and give you loans, no. So there are processes. When you apply, we call your guarantor. Do you even have a collateral? Because the first mistake we made was giving people out money without security for the loan. So you give people out money, you don't have anything that stands as a security for the loan, like collateral for the loan. And it really made us lose some money in the beginning. But then we started, securitizing the loan, and then before you obtain loans, you have to give us something that is coefficient of the value of the money you are taking. So if you're applying for 5 million naira loans from our company, it takes something that is 10 million naira worth, so that you cannot run away. So because we also don't confiscate documents or land. We're not out to take your properties, no. So it's something that once you remember that this property is with this company and I am owing them, I owe myself first as a duty to pay back the loans I've already taken from them. The person will now start paying. So yeah.
Example of such properties.
Okay,
you can mention we don't do lands. What kind of properties do you take?
We actually take lands,
land
documents, and it actually depends on the amount. Amount, because you can't take a land and obtain 100,000 naira loan. No. So, but if you are looking at obtaining 500,000, 1 million naira, 5 million, you have to get a landed property, or stocks, or bonds, or shares, or many things. So, but from 200,000, give us iPhone 13 Pro Max. So,
okay. At that level. So, guys, you have an iPhone, you have an asset to borrow from. You have a collateral. Okay, great. I'm so pleased with what you're doing, and I'm sure some of us benefit from that. So, for those who might need funds, urgent 100K, urgent 200K, no 2K, urgent 500K. I think we will have some partnership with your company for some of us who are willing, and you can hear what we teach every weekend, and you become like one of those people. And I can tell you, people actually get loans without security if you have integrity. Like that is very marketable. I took a loan for someone, I guaranteed someone, I took it actually for the person. 5 million bucks, we didn't even write anything. And I mean, I couldn't even sleep until that money was paid. So the guy that gave me that money knew. I took more than 6 months after he has given, because the person that was supposed to pay back didn't. But I made sure I went ahead to use my money and finish the payment. And I now worried this other guy. So I think people like me can qualify to get it.
No, of course. Actually, integrity is a kind of currency. It is a currency you need to have. So if you know somebody, if somebody knows you, the person can stand in for you as a guarantor, and you actually secure loans that you are not supposed to secure.
That's right.
So it becomes a legal tender. Integrity, your track record. So I have someone in my company that has done business with us, that has taken loans for more than 15 times. So this person brings another client and says, please, Fortune, this guy needs loan of 1.2 million naira. Please give it to him. I stand in as his surety. We don't do that. But because this person has already conferred on this person his integrity and his favor, we now look at this person as that person, and we now give that person the loan. And at 99%, like 99% of all the time we've done this, the clients end up paying back. Wow. There are also some people that we have looked, and there is a pattern. There are some things we are assessing you and we say them, you know that this person is not going to pay back loans. No matter what you do, this person is not going to pay back. So there are some lines, there are some...
You told me some of those lines. Would you like to say some of those lines? For some of us, they also give people money easily. The lines you said in here, I just know this one will not pay this money.
Yeah, like someone comes to take a loan, and you know, sorry, you're not scaring people.
When they use good eye, collect loan.
Yes. So yes, so when you are burdened by anything, business or something, you go for a loan. Sometimes people go for a loan, and it's also a good debt. You take a loan and then buy something or invest in assets, and then once that asset begins to bring money, you pay back your loan and return your assets. So it's also a part of debt financing. But when you come to us and you say you need a loan, and we are already seeing you as a person needs our services and who is willing to pay back. But then if you say something like, okay, you have 6 months to pay back, and we tell you have 6 months to pay back, and you say something like, I promise you, not even reach up to that 6 months, I'll pay back. That person is not paying back. 99.9% of clients, all the clients who says, give me time, just okay, you do that 6 months, I'll pay back. They are not. So it's kind of things, because it's also psychology.
That's where your psychology possibly could have
yes, psychology. They only build it defense mechanism. They think that you look at them and you think that they can't pay back. So they are seeing a lot of things to make you give them that money. Anybody who is really in that level, anybody that is, oppressed, and that, let me not use the word oppressed, but anybody who is very desperate to take money can tell you anything to give that money. So at that particular point, the person is saying everything to convince you.
It's not even interested in paying back.
It's not even interested in paying back, just to get that money. If you ever give that person that money, the person will either not pay back, or the person would take longer time to pay back. There is a person who was supposed to pay back loans 2 months, he took a loan for 2 months. He was supposed to pay back after 2 months, but this is a year, he hasn't paid back. And he's still paying back. At some point, you give someone a loan of 1 million naira, and the person is paying back 50,000 every month. You're already spoiling the business. So, and we also offer convenience repayment plans, which means if you take a loan of 1 million naira, we'll spread it across maybe 6 months term, so that you can be able to pay back as at when due. If you want to opt for one-off payment, you can actually give it to you. So these are the things we look out for. There are also so many other things that are red lines.
Yeah.
Once you mention them, you're not going to do.
What kind of percentages do you offer?
Yeah, the interest rate is highly dependent on the duration. Somebody who took a loan for 1 month will not pay the same interest as somebody who takes a loan for 6 months.
Okay.
So 10%, banks take 7 to 8%. We take 10% because ours is accessible.
Yeah.
And you can just call us now. And once you meet our requirements, you will get the loan disbursed.
Okay.
So the money is there, just meet our requirements.
That 10% is for 1 month.
1 month, yeah. Just as
Okay, that's beautiful. Celebrate you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And I'm looking forward to doing business with you. One more thing. I and Mr. Fortune share a common mentor as Mr. Ogo, and it's been a rewarding relationship so far. And he was also in a masterclass, and he's promised that he's going to support the way business week, not just morally or financially. I celebrate this. So, on behalf of the Kojo management team and members, I want to say thank you for coming. I'm sure we'll have more time to have someone like you to talk more on what you're doing. And I can tell you one question I asked him about lifestyle, because some people, once we didn't make money.
Yeah, their lifestyle. The thing is, a natural money manager will also watch his lifestyle. As of the time we could have, like 2 years ago, we made 9-point-something million. So we could actually afford cars. But I don't have a car now. I don't have a car now because I took both to come. It's not a kind of personal decision, modesty. You watch your lifestyle and you watch the kind of things you buy for yourself. Your investments or your interest should actually be things to fund your lifestyle, not the capital, not your business capital. So if we had bought it then, we wouldn't have started the loan sum of the company and we wouldn't have grown. So there will be a time when we would be, when you spend money and you don't have to feel it. Yeah. Now, if we bring out 5 million and we spend more money on the car, we have to feel it. So up year prior now. So you have to feel it. So and even at that time, you are doing yourself a great service because the business has potential. So when you meet the potential of growth by feeding up from that seed, your seed capital, it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow. So we believe in time, growth, gradual growth, process. And there will be a time when we buy anything. When we can afford anything we want, but not now. We are still in our beginning stage.
Thank you very much for being here. Please celebrate Mr. Fortune Okoli.